Hello and welcome to Wikipedia Weekly Network. Here in this show where Albin Larsson and I, Jan Ainali, are editing Wikidata Live. How are you doing, Albin?
I'm doing great. How are you, Jan?
I'm great as well. I'm really looking forward to today because I think it will be a lot of manual editing.
Right. So what will you be editing?
I'll be editing on vegan burgers because it's the World Vegan Burger Day today. And I
Right.
already had a lovely vegan burger, so I'm on the theme.
Right. A
And
bit
what
of
will you be
the
editing?
recipe tame then?
Well, yes. So we have been editing a little bit about food before, and I have been editing a lot about it, and it's pretty tricky. So I'm not sure we
Yeah.
will get anything done and finished, but at least we can clean some things up and add a few things that I saw were missing. So that's
Right.
what I'm looking to do. What are you looking to do?
I was thinking like earlier today what I would do, and I decided I want to do like mindless editing and just editing no specific tool. Maybe I will use the tool, maybe not, if I found the problem. And I was thinking about what to do it about, and I decided it's time to go back to glaciers
All right.
and edit about
Yes.
glaciers.
Yes.
So that's what I will be doing.
Perfect. Then we have some plans.
Indeed.
I think I'll start by sharing my screen here if I can. So I did the search a little bit earlier today for Vegan Burger Day. I couldn't find anything about it. And then I also did the search for, does this work? Yes, for World Vegan Burger Day, which is sort of the other word that is being used. And I couldn't find anything in Wikidata either. So I'm thinking I'm actually going to start by creating the day, and then we'll see where we go from there. So as it says here, there was no results matching. You can create a new item for it. So let's click that little button. I actually use this button quite often because it's quite good to search before you're actually creating some things, and then you're already there. Do you use this a lot? This link?
I'm not sure I've ever used it. Not on Wikidata. On Wikipedia for creating articles,
Mm-hmm.
but on Wikidata I'm not sure. I'm very often using like tools to create items,
Mm-hmm.
or I'm just not finding that link when I have the
Yeah.
same link next to it.
Yes. Yeah. I usually use this. So let's click that. And I'm in English right now, and that's good. We can start there. We need to, I think, capitalize these. Vegan Burger Day, and then this will be, and what do we call it? We call it observance. Let's go with vegan. And we'll put the other one as an alias, which is just a Vegan Burger Day. Like this, and create it. And now we have been doing quite a few of these observance days here on the show. So I'm actually going to go and have a look at one we did before to be inspired and sort of like, oh, what were all the things we're putting into it. And it was I think it was episode 33 that we did the International Polar Bear Day. So let's have a look, see if we can find that item again. Polar Year, Polar Bear Day. That's the one we want. Let's see. Instance of World Day. Yes, I think we can copy that one directly. And I have this little user script on, so it gives me the queue number here. It makes it very easy to get started. So it's a World Day. And then I don't have any images yet. We might find some uncommons though. Inception. So I did a little bit of research before here. And this is one of the sites, and then I Googled a little bit. And I think it started in 2020, but I don't have an actual source for it. But I think I'm going to add it anyway, because that's as far as I could find any mentions about it.
Could you add that as a qualifier?
Not mentioned earlier or something like that?
Yeah,
I don't
think
know.
there is a way to model that. I think Cultural Heritage use it quite often. In case someone in the chat knows.
Yeah, if someone in the chat has an idea of how to qualify this, that would be nice. But for now, I'm going to go with this was the first time, as far as I know. It would have been nice to have a source for this. Founded by, I don't know. There are a few different vegan societies that are mentioning this in 2020. And I think this one, the Nederlandse Vereniging voor Veganisme, is the first one. But I don't know that at all, so I'm going to skip that one. Main subject. Well, that one is easy. It's going to be a vegan burger. I think here is where we're going to dive into our first rabbit hole, because there's no item for vegan burger. There's for a vegan burger patty product. So I'm actually going to follow this rabbit hole and start the item for the vegan burger here. But I'm going to open this up and see what that looks like. But this seems to be about the actual patty. And it's a subclass of veggie burger. Is that the only statement we have? What links here? Let's have a look. Yes, these are 3 vegan burger patties. So that seems right. Are they a subclass of, for instance, of, yeah, all right. So I want to create a new item for just vegan burger and make that one a subclass of veggie burger instead, and having this one being a part of or material used or whatever the thing is in there.
And why do you think it is that the product is there but not?
I think that's because these 3
articles
have been. They might have articles, but they've also been quite a lot of in news. The Beyond Burger, Impossible Burger. So someone might have seen them, and then, we should have an item for it. So that's where I'm going to go. So I'm going to go with the vegan burger, create a new item. Actually, let's have another search first. So see if I search for pages containing it, see if I get something. We get the 2 we have been here. We have the soy burger, which is also a type of it. Yeah, these are all decent, but not the one we're looking for. And since I got a few hits here, I don't get the link, even though I didn't get the exact hit. So now I'll have to use this instead. So it's a little bit, and this would be like that. There might be some good aliases for it. So now let's see. This one was a subclass of veggie burger, so we're going to use that one. And I was thinking of for a while when I was planning this, like, is it the vegan burger who is the subclass of the veggie burger, or the other way around? And then I looked at veganism and vegetarianism, and it's the vegetarianism. Veganism is sort of under the vegetarianism. So that's why I'm going to go with this one. Will be a subclass. Burger. Press publish. There we go. And now I don't remember the as part or part. Is that the? Let's have a look at that property. If that's the one with the ingredients, yes.
I feel
that's
like
the one.
we ask ourselves this every time.
Yes, yes. I think this is one of the properties that had most aliases. This is sometimes a little bit problematic. Sometimes there are old properties where there are new created and the old one still has sort of some alias overlapping with the new one. That's some sort of next level of maintenance when we create new properties. It's easy to forget. Now, so we want to use has part or parts on this one, and we're going to use this thing here as part. And that's sort of like one part that has to be. And then I think we can add something like, I don't know what this item will be, but like the hamburger bun, the bread. Without it, it's not a burger. But I don't know what the item we have here. Hamburger bun? Could it be like that? No.
We got a question here in the chat about Q1884503. And I think that's the Wiki Burger.
The Wiki Burger?
Nay, the Wiggy Burger.
Veggie Burger. Yes, I have it over here. Yes.
This is a subclass of.
Yes.
So one would be
no, it's not a duplicate. Yes.
And one would be vegan.
Yes. I would like to find a way to distinguish that because the veggie burger could contain egg or milk or something like that, whereas the vegan one will not have it. Now I want to take a look at the hamburger here and see what do we have on a regular hamburger. In a subclass of dish. Named after sandwich.
That's
in some language, perhaps. It should be qualified with the language there, I guess. Patty, bread roll, and vegetable. All right, let's go with that. So we'll go with the bread roll here on the vegan burger. Then we also got ourselves why? There we go. We got ourselves a little bit of clue here. We found the item for patty. So we're going to use this and go back to the vegan burger patty. And this is not going to be a subclass of the veggie burger anymore. It's going to be a subclass of the patty. Now, I think I found something, and I wonder if that was on the. Oh, it's there underneath. It had an interesting. No, it was not here. I found something, a property called like has not the part of or something like that.
That's an odd one.
Yes, let's check on the has part and see if it's like sort of the opposite is listed here. Because sometimes we do have that linked from the properties. inverse property part of, yes, that is inverse, does not have part. I think that was the one I'm looking for. Yes, so I think I want to add back into the vegan burger patty. Now, is there, let's have a look at the meat item. That's subclass for animal product. That's the one we want. All right, so we're gonna say it does not have any parts of animal products, and then we'll catch it all. If it will load for me here, here it comes. Thank you. I'll go back over here. Not go with meat, but go with the animal product instead. There. All right. So it can, of course, be, well, let's see if we can find an image. Let's go to Commons. And search for vegan burger. And see if we get any hits that are sort of relevant. All right, we get a lot of hits. Charcoal bun with vegan burger in Tokyo. Vegan burger. All right. And this one looks pretty good. Let's see if, yeah, let's go with this one. This one we'll have to do. And this makes me think there might even be a category for this. Let's check this out. Some parts of Commons are really well categorized. This one is under, yes, vegan burgers. That's what we want. Yes, I want to leave. So we'll go with this. Back here, we'll add a Commons category. Now let's see, without the prefix category here. Here we go, publish that. And then we'll add the site link here under, was it always called multilingual sites? I thought it was called other or something.
Yeah, I think it was called other as well.
Yes, I think they have changed this one. So let's see if Commons, yes, appears here. But here, of course, I need the category. We find it. We publish that. And now I'll switch gears a little bit and add the info box, Wikidata info box here.
Ah, that's nice.
Since we have the connection. If I remember correctly, it's just Wikidata info box.
Could you zoom in a little here?
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
I hope that will do it. Let's have a preview. Let's see if it pops up. It might not have found the connection yet because it's so new, but yes, it had. So
there we go. And you get it in Swedish, but
yes. Oh, the bread roll in Swedish. Well, this actually sort of looks like that. So it's not totally wrong. I think that perhaps the Swedish label is a little bit too narrow.
Yeah, indeed.
Add Wikidata info box. Yes, I want to watch this. All right, I think we're at the bottom of the first rabbit hole. Now I do have this item. I can go back to the day here and add to the main subject for the vegan burger day. And let's see what else we could add. Did I lose my polar bear day? Let's see. Event interval that we want, and it's going to be a year. Right. Cause that could be hard. But I think we had a hashtag because looking at this, it said World Vegan Burger Day. So I'm going to add that here. Do not include the actual hashtag. All right. And then
Neat.
did we have a for the actual day in year of periodic occurrence? That's which the last one I think we're going to add here. Day in year 28th of May 28th. Let's pick the right one. I think it's going to be this one. We'll actually add a source for that. Add this as a source because it states that at least get some sort of references to this. Now, I started using this user script as well, which I think is using the Cytoid thing to try to look up a few things. And it's very handy. And of course, makes it nicer to generate references if this statement is being used on a client wiki, like Wikipedia. All right. I think that's good for this. Let's head back to the patty, or rather head back to the here. Did we have any specific images on the patties? We do. We even do have the specific one for Beyond Meat, I guess. Well, yeah, I can actually press this thing and we can see that it is being used on English Wikipedia on Beyond Meat. This one might be used on, let's have a look if this one is used on the Wikidata item. No, because we saw that the Beyond Meat had a here's a maybe that was a better image. I didn't scroll far enough before. Impossible vegan burgers. A lot of good ones. I think we can go with this for the patty. So we'll copy it here, find the patty product, add an image here. Oh yes, let's go with that one. And this is also some sort of, we're a little bit into the commons here, but a forgotten thing to take pictures of your food and especially specific parts of your food or ingredients, because that is often missing. And it's something that everyone sort of can do, at least a decent thing at home.
Indeed, we actually had one case where I think we edited about the Swedish chocolate ball.
Yep.
correctly translated,
Yes.
and we pointed out that there weren't good images. And
Yeah.
I think 2 days later, we had a watcher uploading good images
Yes.
of chocolate bar.
Yes. Especially these everyday things that sort of
Yeah,
are available to everyone. You might even have it in the fridge. You can go snap something with your phone, and it's better than nothing. One of my most used image or yeah, it's used images on Commons is of it's a brand name, I think, corn, like it's a meat substitute made of some mushroom. And
right.
I just took them just one out of the package, one that I fried in a pan, and put them next to each other on a plate, and took an image, and sort of like
Yeah,
it's being used in a lot of places. It's not a good image. If someone does take a new one, it will automatically be better. But I guess it's like, since there was nothing else, it's better than nothing.
indeed.
Not really sure. Let's have a look at we saw when I did a search here. Or was it linked from the patty? No, that was. I saw the soy burger thing. Let's have a look at if we can. Not the nurger, soy burger. Patty designed to resemble. In order to use. I wonder how we could link this to either the veggie burger. I guess we could link it to the veggie burger instead of the hamburger. So I think that would be an improvement. I'm not sure I want to put it into the vegan, because some soy burgers are not vegan.
Indeed.
But I'm pretty sure we can go with the veggie one. So let's take this one that we had before and change this one. So this is putting one step in between here in the tree, so to speak. Now I'll take a look at this reference and see what it says, see if we can keep it, or if I should. Meat-free burgers, vegetarian burgers. Yes, I think we can keep it. It's. Let's try autofill as well, see if we can get some more information. I didn't know that it was possible to use it like this. This is really good. Just improving the reference a little bit. If it works. That's very slow. The site loaded quickly for me. Nah. Let's just go with that. Oh, and now I get this warning. Did you change this? I did actually check this, so I'll remove the warning. And this one had made from material, and this one, we encountered this before, and we thought this was not the right. The thing we should use was the has part, but now I forgot what the item P527, because now I need to copy this, because I want to move this statement from this. So I'll use to the same entity and to this, move the claim. There we go. This one will be all right. All right, I think I'm going to stop there. We improved the vegan burgers, the veggie burgers, the patties, the soy burgers. We added some images, and we made an item for the day.
Right. So, glaciers. And where
Aha.
do we start if not on my glaciers page where I store a bunch of useful queries? And it was a while since I last edited about glaciers. So I want a bit of inspiration. And I really like this least common properties. So I want to do that to see like what can we do that usually isn't on there. And I think I have some like model item or something like that somewhere. Got a bunch of visualizations here, but do I have a model item? No, maybe not. Okay, let's start with this least common properties. And let's see what it returns. So we won't get glaciers here, we just want to get various properties that are very uncommon. I guess there would be some that are just used once, maybe some that are used twice, and so on, to a maximum of 100. And it's not very fast. Oh, it still works. So we got a bunch of identifiers. Then we got volume as quantity. Interesting. Subclass off. That's a bit of a warning sign. If it's an instance of glacier or subclass of something that's an instance of, it shouldn't also be subclass of. So that's something I think we should look into. Let's actually do that directly. So I'm going to copy that and open the query service once more. So I want to select a glacier, but I do not want to count a property like before. I just want to get a glacier that also got subclass of. So let's select item. And it should have subclass of. Subclass of, and that can be anything. Like that. And run it just to identify it. Here we go. Let's see what we actually got. We got something called ice stream, which is said to be an instance of glacier. I imagine that isn't the case. Looking at like the identifiers and such, it doesn't seem to be an actual glacier. It just seems to be a concept, so to say. So let's see the English Wikipedia article. An ice stream is a region of fast-moving ice within an ice sheet. It is a type of glacier. Okay. So it's not an instance of glacier, it's a type of glacier, and so it's a subclass of. So I can remove this one. That was not how I intended to use
No.
the least common property. I was
No,
going here for
that was a nice
inspiration, but
find.
yeah, indeed. Height is also an interesting one. Sure, there is a height, but it's more of a depth rather than a height, because usually you are on the surface.
Mm-hmm.
So that may be like how high above sea level it is, I'm feeling,
Yes.
because that's really common for glaciers.
Mm-hmm.
So I shouldn't have deleted my last query, but that's what I did. It's a quick thing. I'm not gonna delete it this time. I'm gonna generalize it a little bit. And let's do item pdt height. And that can be anything. There we go. So it is a glacier in Antarctica. And we have a height and a reference. Let's check the reference. So it should be almost a kilometer. That can't be the height of it. That seems off.
Can it not even on Antarctica?
No, I don't think so. It's the on the north
Ah,
slopes of some.
yes. It's the wrong.
Oh,
You see a little further down there.
yeah,
Elevation.
elevation. Indeed. So we do not necessarily need to remove it because it would just be. Do I have the move statement
It's the arrow
on?
to the right.
It's the arrow to the right. So I want not to move it to another entity, but to the same. And the ID of the new property is, if I just type height here, that's the one. Elevation above sea level. And then I can say move claim. And it has moved. And to see the change, I need to reload. And it now says elevation above sea level. And it gives me a warning here. Yeah, it's not even a
Mm-hmm.
real reference.
Mm.
It says URL here. Let's edit that. Reference URL. I do not know the actual retrieve date. But there we go. I have a retrieve date today. Maybe. I'm gonna leave it for now. It's still an improvement.
Yeah. Had a question here. Did you make an entity schema for the glaciers?
That's a really good question. Yeah, I think I should have done that. Let's see here. Let's see here in the lists. These are just maintenance queries. Um, maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't. Wouldn't it be easier to correct these glaciers? I haven't found a way to like run it on all of them because there is a lot of them. So I'm not sure. And also all of this like edge cases, like someone putting height on a glacier. I mean, it's really uncommon. We only found one of them. I'm feeling that it's not worth putting those edge cases into a schema. But indeed, it's something that if we just had like the infrastructure to have that run on like a schedule, that would be great. So we could like get like listeria warning lists or things like that. That would be great. Okay, again, didn't intend to use it this way, but we corrected another one. Speed. Speed is something that's completely valid on a glacier. They move all the time, and it's really annoying when we got a lot of coordinates. And postal code. I think that's a correct one as well, actually. Time of discovery or invention, completely okay. This one is interesting. Followed by. Let's see that one. It fits a little bit. Let's see,
I
followed
think
by.
we looked at that in an earlier episode.
Oh, maybe we're just going around and around here.
If it is some article or a glacier that's split up into several new ones, then it's the
Oh,
same. But maybe
right.
that's not the case here.
So this is refers to Mont Blanc, or it's a part of Mer de Glace, a really large glacier then. Let's see, is there an article? There is. Yes, it was the common. So during the Little Ice Age, so to say, it was
It wasn't this one we looked
a
at
part
because
of
I
it.
think that one was one that split into two or three.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, those are common as well. So this was one that was a part of the much larger one in the Alp during the Little Ice Age, and today is a smaller one. Still a rather large one. Complete. This one, however, notable work. That seems odd for a glacier.
Yes.
So let's see what that's about. Glacier in Italy. Okay, so this seems to be a work with
I think it's
it as a
sort of,
main subject or a
yeah,
subject.
or it
Maybe
appears
not
in it.
even the main subject if I know myself. So this is a painting. So it's not how notable work is supposed to be used, I'm
No,
pretty
no.
sure. Um, among the subject's works. No, this glacier
Yeah.
hasn't created this. But we can still create like a reverse link.
Yes.
And here we wouldn't use main subject, we would use depicts
Mm.
because
Mm-hmm.
it's painting. It is already using main subject, so maybe I should move this. And,
Yes.
and that's not how you do it either. Let's clean it up first. And there we go. And let's see, the pics we actually know the ID of P180, I'm saying, and everyone confirming that?
Yes. That's a
Great,
common one,
indeed.
especially if you hang out on commons a little bit as well.
Exactly. And it remembered actually where I want to
Mm.
move things. So I'm gonna move the next one. I'm gonna reload to ensure that it looks correct. Depicts, there we go. Nice. And I can remove this notable work. And significant place. I think this is something that we use for notable places associated with the subject, maybe, but let's see why it's complaining. Object has a role, okay, we can't just link any place connected to it, makes sense. And that's the building. Not sure if we can preserve that link in a nice way.
I guess the house isn't exactly on the glacier either.
No, maybe it's like some protected area and they're
Mm.
both located in there, but
Mm-hmm.
we don't know that. So I'm gonna remove it.
Mm.
But and I mean they're still connected like in the graph through that painting, for example. So they aren't
Yeah.
that far off. There we go. Let's see. Inception. It could be correct. Sometimes rather common for those really old glaciers. Um, date of disappearance. Surprise, we only got one here.
Yeah, I'm
Maybe
gonna
that's
say
what
I
we.
hope that number stays low.
Yeah, maybe that's what we can edit about today.
Mm-hmm. Add a
Permanent
few more.
duplicated item. That just sad. Population seems like a warning sign. Um, let's have a check on that.
Yes. I would
I
like
can't imagine
to
there
see a
will be.
source on that,
Yeah, exactly. I would like to see a
actually.
source. It's quite a long queue number. Okay, it's the largest one on Iceland. I think we can change the image actually to Arial image. Population 0.
Mm-hmm.
um, why are we
Wait.
getting a type constraint? Yeah, we just don't use this on glaciers.
We can't
I'm
put
gonna remove
zero on
this.
everything that doesn't have a population. Yes.
That's the exact reason I'm thinking we can't put 0 on everything that doesn't have a population. It makes sense on some items like Iceland's. That was one example on some things, but not on glaciers. And I wonder if I can actually
Mm.
have a better place for this image here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Could that be it? Or
I think there should be an I in there, aerial, but I don't know where. There,
no,
perhaps.
nor do I. But I
A
do know a way
E
to.
R I A.
Let's see if it
That's
has a C also. C also. There is a lot of.
there. We have it.
There we go. Maybe this wasn't even the perfect one. It's more of a like space image.
Oh,
Do
it's
we have a C?
definitely.
It's
I think
better.
it's good. Yeah.
It's better than the current.
Yeah.
It's a wiki.
Yes.
And move claim.
Shouldn't this one also have a better one on commons? Like it's so famous.
Indeed, that's yeah. I mean, it's a tourist attraction, so to say.
Yeah.
Maybe the easiest way to find a really good image is to go to English
Mm-hmm.
Wikipedia. That's what we just looked at. That could be a candidate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's it. And let's just open it up. And plus image. There we go. That's neat. And I think that's already one of the glacier with like the most statements. So it's nice to being able to add even more. Um, that makes sense. Collection that the subject is a part of. No, I'm not buying that one.
That's
I didn't realize how good this was to just do maintenance. That's quite a high queue number. Geosite, ice cap. Yeah, it's not a part of a collection. It's instance of collection website.
yeah. I
Geosite
mean they.
inventory. No, it's just in the database.
Yes.
That's not. And it got described at URL.
Mm-hmm.
And it got inventory number, which I don't think is how it should be used.
At least that one is a little bit better.
Yeah, at least that one's it. Let's also check inventory number. In a collection, it's not in a collection. And it only exists on one glacier. I'm sorry, it's already in here, so if it's like your super common database, make it an external identifier. And geosite, it's probably not a geosite and an ice cap. It's probably an ice cap. Oh, they have their own type. Oh, this is really odd. Okay. It's a status for. It's like a protected area of a specific type. Then I'm buying it. Makes sense, but it should. I think there is something like designated protected status or something like that,
Yes.
and it would be a better place for it. But I'm gonna leave it for now because it requires a bit more research. So let's continue. The inventory number we already did. AdWord received. It could make sense, but I still want to look it up because it
Yes.
sounds super cool. So let's see here. We are in Germany. It's a glacier and a geotope. Adward received 100 most beautiful geotopes of Bavaria.
All right.
Right? Makes sense?
Mm-hmm. I mean, they just made top 100 and didn't win it.
Yeah. Um, let's see. Origin of watercourse makes sense. Video. 2 glaciers got video. Category for the view from the item. That's also an
Nice.
interesting one. Located on an astronomical body, highest point, winter view, panoramic view, URL. That's an interesting one.
Yes.
Let's have a look at that one. Location of a resource, and glaciers usually aren't that type of resources. We got a glacier in New Zealand. No. This is just a map
Described
service,
by?
right? Described by, or to be honest, if that's all the information about it,
Yeah.
I'm gonna remove it.
Yes. Could
That's
it be
not.
a source for the coordinate? Oh, I already
No.
had imported from. Yeah, right.
Yeah, because it's geo names.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
my thinking is that this is almost like spam just to get more links to a website. Let's see if what this could be. We are in Canada now. And we got a peak visitor. I imagine this on visitor. We got a little bit more of data here.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually contains a bit of information. And it got something of relevance. This I feel like moving to describe by URL.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's already here in the. Yeah, let's move
Yes,
it. It
but
was.
also with the URL rather than the reference
Yeah,
URL.
yeah, I see the warning here. Describe by URL is. Let's see.
953.
Describe at URL is nowadays.
73. Ah, memory fails me.
So let's move that. And then let's change this. And boop. Reference URL. There we go. Ultra-wise, it looks good.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. What do we more have? Identifiers, time period. Located in or next to body of water. Dissolved, abolished, or demolished. This is interesting because we had a similar one above, right?
Yes, date of disappearance.
Date of disappearance. Oh, this is interesting. This say date or point of time a missing person was seen. So it might be that one which we should change.
Oh, have a look at that one.
Yeah. That's odd.
It's in the middle.
Yeah, but it date of disappearance 1930, and here we still see something on an image which isn't from 100 years ago. Let's see. The examples are all persons.
Ah, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, we should move it,
Yeah.
make it more consistent as well. This might not be considered the full glacier, I imagine.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm getting from the French. Let's see. And we used to move to the same entity. P576, move claim. There we go. Let's see. I'm gonna do a couple of more. Heritage designation makes sense. Discoverer or inventor. Related image. I imagine there could be like map in images here and things like that. So let's have a look at those. Oops.
Could perhaps also be paintings, but paintings
Could
that
also be
like
images, yeah,
yeah.
paintings. Let's see. Let's actually select the image here as well,
Ah.
or related image, so to say. Oh, what am I doing? I can just do it like this, I believe. So we can display them here.
Mm-hmm.
And let's do image grid, paintings, an explorer, simulation of the movement, I guess, or the melting. Shouldn't be the temperature. This, however,
That seems like it
if
could be
it's not
worthy.
like the glacier next to it, no, it got the same name. And it's the same point of view here.
Mm,
So this related image,
I think we can remove.
yeah, and it shouldn't, if there is an image, one shouldn't have a related image, this warning says.
Mm.
So there we go. But the orchard ones make sense. Um, these ones are a little odd because this is like a large section of
Mm.
Antarctica, but we can live with that. More identifier, thickness, glacier status, official name, name. Oh, reference URL directly on the item. And here we got end time as well. I think we need to do a bit of cleanup on the end times. But let's do reference URL. And again, I ended up removing my query. It should be a quick fix. Reference URL, it can be anything. And we got if group by here, which we can't use. Let's see. Great Panic Glacier. Ouch. This is Google Books. This is a PDF. Oh, so this is the Kilimanjaro glaciers and one of the peaks, right? Yeah, that's not even accessible.
What happened in the interface there?
Yeah, I can't edit it because it's too long.
If you zoom
There we
out,
go.
there you go.
And describe that URL maybe, but
Maybe.
I would much rather have this if I just read the title here. It's about all of the glaciers and not this particular glacier.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna remove it, but I'm gonna keep a mental note about it because it might still be interesting to. It should have like is part of the group or it's somehow connected. I remember to the rest of the glaciers here. Can't really remember the modeling right now. Let's see.
That
Because
was the
more
same.
ones. And
There
it's the
was two.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah, because both of the links.
Punch bow.
Greenwood Glacier. It even got a different name here. And this is some travel site, I imagine. Packages. And it's a 404. I'm starting to suspect more and more spam actually
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to links. And this is just a link to the survey agency in, and they have problems today as well. Can't even reach this. And this is just the links to the coordinates in the map.
Yes.
It's not relevant.
No.
And let's see, German glacier. It's the glacier in Antarctica. It got a warning at the image.
Ah, very smart.
Oh, right. It takes this common format of location map.
But wait, that
Um,
that was the map of the entire Antarctica without any location on it?
Indeed. Yeah, it has probably been imported then because they are used in the article,
Yeah.
and that red
Yes.
dot is actually from a
Yes.
different
Yeah.
place. Let's see. This should probably be an external identifier instead. Yes, the scar. Let's see if we can actually scar. Scar. There
Hmm.
we go. And
Very
I just
nice.
copied the ID. Oh, is that so short? Let's check with the URL. No,
It's getting truncated automatically by a gadget.
indeed. But why? Let's
I
see.
think there's the format URL formatter.
And I got a different ID, but it's still getting that truncated.
I think you have to look at that property. See.
Yeah. So let's do that. No, I can't do that.
When you have it in the dropdown, you can control click it.
That's how you do it. So let's see what's obey. It's URL. Yeah, it says it can only be 4. No,
There's something.
this makes no sense. That's not a regex for that. Let's see the edit history here. Um, it was edited in December.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna keep that one
Mm-hmm.
on my list. I'm gonna keep the tab open for later while I check this last one. Rudolph Glacier, New Zealand. And we got a link to an archive. I'm sorry. We can't link all the archive images like this.
No.
If it would have more description about actual glacier, that would be one thing, but
This is a
no.
description about the image.
Yeah, exactly. So there we go. This doesn't have coordinates and such, I'm noticing, but yeah. Okay. I was aiming to use this least common properties as a bit of inspiration to edit some nice aspects of Glacier, but I ended up using it for quality assurance. But I
Mm-hmm.
think we made a lot of like small improvements, just
Indeed.
normalizing the data and so on. So I'm really happy with that.
Yes. I think there were like 2 or 3, maybe even 4 properties we sort of cleaned up, and I
Indeed.
have I have a nice coherent data model now.
Indeed. And a
So
great
yeah.
idea as well about making a shape for this. And I am going to share the small link to this query. That's a very good note. Let me create a message here. And that I think it is.
Yes, that's your collection
Indeed. And it's a
with that
short one because I must have
low
done
ID. Yes.
a link for it in the past.
I think we're up to 4 characters now, and the first one starting with a 5.
Yeah.
So it's building.
Yeah, because you were rewatching some of our old videos to do a bit of a workshop with some of the queries a while back, and I was like fascinated with the low
Yes.
numbers in the URL shortener. Okay,
Yes, very nice to be a little bit sort of like back to basics, editing, cleaning up some small stuff and manual editing.
indeed. And time just flew by on my end.
Yes, it does. Very nice. I guess we will be back next Saturday as usual. And until then, happy editing.
Happy editing.